1976. The United States is celebrating their bicentennial to commemorate 200 years of independence. And what exactly did they do? Fireworks, speeches, parades, and in the case of railroads, it was cooking up a lot of good paint schemes and slapping it on locomotives and rolling stock alike, both from quality and quantity wise, for the most part. I've already made a video covering the bicentennial locomotive, so go and check that out to learn more. But in short, the bicentennial craze was definitely high in 1976. And I'd figure out for the 4th of July this year, I think it'd be fun to spotlight one of these locomotives and the origins behind the livery. And I'm wondering, which one should it be? Oh no! Of all the ones I have to talk about, it had to be that! During the late 60s and early 70s, the Kansas City Southern was seeing a shift in new motive power with the arrival of the then new EMD SC40 and SC40-2s, which were built between 1966 all the way until 1980. The differences between both models comes down to the length, electronics, and trucks. By 1976, the railroad would take one of each model to be repainted for the nationwide bicentennial event, those being SC40 616 and SC40-2 number 642, which were initially painted in the railroad's plain white livery, which was introduced in the 60s as a change-up from the complete red and black looks of that time period. And the bicentennial scheme that they wore was bizarre to say the least. I mean, the color palette is all over the place. Any design philosophy is thrown out the window, the stripes and the parts of the locomotives being all different colors. You can't deny that it's a mess of a livery. It doesn't even represent American patriotism, with the only red, white, and blue being the stripes along the long hood of the locomotive. Even some of the more blandest bicentennial liveries had some more representation with the colors of the American flag. But compared to this, it really makes you wonder who in the right mind would approve of this.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
But the story behind it is a little sweet, as the Kansas City Southern sponsored a drawing contest in Louisiana from a grade school. Which one in particular is unknown, as it hasn't really surfaced online according to all sources. All we do know is that one of the children's designs was chosen to be painted for the celebrations, which, gotta admit, it's kind of wholesome that a railroad would have some community engagement with one of the grade schools, even if the livery is a visual eyesore to most. From what I've read up, one of the nicknames allegedly given to these locomotives was Crayolas, likely due to how, vivid the color palette of this locomotive was. And when you really think about it, its design was quite the standout amongst other bicentennial liveries, which tend to follow a similar color scheme. But like I said, there's so many better bicentennial schemes out there than this, there's no denying about that fact. By 1977, the bicentennial celebrations were all over, and the two locomotives were repainted back into plain white. 616 would be sold to Pack Rail in the early 90s, then to Conrail where it was rebuilt in the -2 specifications, and it's still rostered by CSX as of 2025. 642 is still rostered by KCS as number 3205, while sporting the more classy Southern Belle livery. You could still find it working locals across Louisiana on the KCS. Or technically CPKFC, but who cares about that, right? KCS's bicentennial locomotives are odd. Ugly, sure, and far from a perfect bicentennial scheme, but I'll admit, I appreciate the community engagement that the KCS undertook for its bicentennial scheme. Its unique color palette definitely made it a standout amongst the norm of red, white, and blues, and it certainly was a unique case for the bicentennial liveries of 1976. Oh yeah, and remember my bicentennial video from 2 years ago when I said this? Maybe reach out to me in 2026 during America's semi-quincentennial. Well, the Wheeling Lake Erie cooked, and gotta say, it's actually pretty good. So who knows, maybe we'll be eating good for the semi-quincentennial, so we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, happy 4th of July to my American broskies, enjoy your celebrations, the fireworks, and most importantly, stay safe out there guys, gals, non-binaries, transgenders, pansexuals, any genders. I will see you all in the next video. Take care, folks.